Next, we are going to talk about our 6 key terms. All right, I'm going to go ahead and list those key terms first before I start discussing what each of them are. Those are going to be population, parameter. So take a note that both of those starts with P. I will come back to that later. Sample, statistic. Notice that both of those start with an S. I will come back to that later. Variable. Oof, my handwriting gets a little sloppy. And data or data. All right, so these are our 6 key terms. I put them in this order for a reason, all right, but they do have a few other relationships. So I'm going to use MJC as an example for describing each of these things here. If I was talking about MJC as a whole population, that would be every single student that attends MJC. All right, that is the whole population. Let's say, for example, I wanted to know the average age of a student at MJC. Well, to accurately find the average age of a student at MJC, I would need to interview every single student at MJC, which is not very likely that I can accomplish that, all right, because people are busy, they don't want to answer their emails, they're not on campus, XYZ. There are a lot of reasons why I couldn't actually access every single person there to get whatever information I needed from them. All right, so instead of having a whole population, we take a sample. So population, everything, a sample is a subgroup, all right, a smaller number of the overall population. So maybe I randomly select 50 names from the entire MJC roster, and I just interview those 50. So population, everything, subset, sample, all right, smaller amount of it. The parameter and statistics are whatever property that you are analyzing from that population or sample. So like I said earlier, an average age, that could be our parameter. If I wanted the average age of all MJC students, that would be the parameter because it goes with the population. If I wanted the average age of just the 50 that I interviewed, that would be the statistic because it goes with the sample. So you can add in, if I want to draw in these little arrows, population and parameter, they both have P's. Sample and statistic, they both have S's. They go together. But also you think of the sample as being a subset of the population. And you think of the statistic being related to the parameter because, again, they're both characteristics of those other two. And then our last two pieces are the variable and the data, right? These are not always given in a question and answer way, but I think of them, or it helps me at least, to kind of define them and separate them as being grouped together. So the variable is the thing we're interested in when it comes to the situation we're analyzing, the question we're asking. So going back to my example with MJC students, if I was interested in the average age, my variable would be the age of any individual student that I were to question. So the 50 students I interview, I go up to them and I say, what is your age? All right, well, the variable in that situation is the age of the individual student. The data or the data is what you collect from those students that you interview. So it'll be a list of different ages, 20, 50, 36, 18, all right? The list of all of the ages that we gather is going to be our data in that situation. Those are our 6 key terms.